Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin LaVore coming at you. And a huge thank you to all of you who give to us when you can, whenever you can, however much you can. We do appreciate it. And if you would like to give to us at the filming of this here video, if you're watching it like right now and this time or in the next couple days, we're still a full-time support-based ministry, and there are Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal links below. If you would like to give to us, you can do so there, and it would be greatly appreciated. Always is. It's like our financial life is like a constant conveyor belt going, like a treadmill belt going, and we're just praying all the time, just looking to see what the Lord's going to deliver. You know, what's going to come down that conveyor belt of financial flow, because the Lord has seated us right beside it. He's not put us in a position to put stuff on it, or, you know, we just receive whatever we get, okay? And at this time, it's kind of a need, you know? But there's so many times like that for us right now, and so I don't like to harp on it, don't want to harp on it, but I do want to just put it out there. And so if you'd like to give to us, click any one of those links, and we super appreciate it. So thank you in advance, okay? So I wanted to talk about something today, whenever you're listening to this. Man, I do believe something great has started in our nation. But even more than our nation, I think it's started globally. I believe there is a restoration of the Lord that has begun. And that ties right into these ideas that I was been getting all day. And this is how it goes. Joseph had a dream from the Lord, you know, and there came a point when that dream came to pass. I mean, it's technically two dreams, right? But Samuel, the prophet who never heard wrong, came to David and said, "You're going to be king of Israel." And eventually, that word came to pass. Abraham, this is what's going to happen to you. And there came a moment where a child was born unto him in a miraculous way, under miraculous circumstances, and he was the seed that would lead to the fulfillment of everything that God said. God promised that Abraham's family would be in bondage for 400 years. And that happened. God wanted to take them to the promised land. He couldn't do it with the first group, but he eventually got the second group in there. If we go even to the beginning, the very beginning of our history with the Lord, God spoke for 6 days. And every single word he spoke during those 6 days came to pass. We live in a created word fulfillment of the Lord. Even if it's being destroyed by sin and terrible things are happening, we live in a world and upon a foundation of God spoke it, it happened. Yeah? Jesus wanted to take his disciples to the other side of the lake. He said, "Come on, let's go to the other side of the lake." They went to the other side of the lake. Even though there was a storm and they thought they were going to die and Jesus was sleeping in the boat, it happened. You know, there's a lot of things in our life that can cause us to doubt the Lord. And honestly, if we're being really honest, a lot of the things that God speaks to us and he's doing in our life don't necessarily have to do with us getting a promise fulfilled so it can be a comfort to us. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. God's got greater plans in store for us than our own personal escape from difficulty and conflict. He's not trying to do that. He is our escape from difficulty and conflict, even though we still have to deal with difficulty and conflict. But God's promise is not going to lead you into fantasy fulfillment. No, it's going to lead you into heart fulfillment. It's going to lead you to desire fulfillment. And when that desire is fulfilled, it is a tree of life. Well, what's a tree of life? A tree of life is for other people to partake of, you know? And when we look at so many of the promises fulfilled, Joseph became a tree of life for an entire nation. David became a tree of life for an entire nation. Abraham became a tree of life that created an entire nation, right? So many of the things that the Lord has to say to us have huge fulfillment purposes that go way beyond us, even beyond our own current lives. But then there's a lot of things that God does for us that are just us and for us, specifically for us, and it is for our enjoyment. It is for our own comfort. It is for us. You see what I'm saying? You can't divorce one from another. You have to put them both together. Like everything that God's doing in our life is on His purpose. You know, that's why it's so important to just seek the Lord and know the Lord and be led by the Lord and have the center focus of your life be about the Lord and life with the Lord. And I believe we have come into a time of restoration where we're going to begin to start seeing things that God's promised us come to pass. We still don't know when, we still don't know how, we still don't know how long that's going to take to happen, this section and that part and this phase and that stage. We just don't know. That's why we don't concern ourselves with time frames and how long it's going to take to get somewhere and how long are we going to be there. And, you know, kids will do that all the time because it's natural. It's natural for an 8-year-old. It's natural for an 88-year-old. It doesn't matter. But what we learn as we grow in the Lord and we leave childish things behind is we learn how to ask our questions and seek and knock and all of that stuff. But we also learn how to just wait on the Lord and be led by His Spirit and go with His answer, knowing that just like with Joseph, David, and Abraham, He is going to fulfill whatever He has promised, whatever He said. He's going to do that. And so I just wanted to just share that with you guys. I know that can seem very simple and cliche and like, oh, just another encouragement to have faith for the promise to be fulfilled. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, you know? Look at what God has done from the beginning. Think about that. I mean, is anyone else's mind blown by that idea that creation is, and what we call reality and God's own reality is about Him speaking a word, let there be, and then it happened. Let there be whatever, and then it happened. Hey, let's go to the other side of the lake, and it happened. Hey, have everyone sit down. I'm going to feed him. And it happened. You know, I'm going to go to Jerusalem and I'm going to be betrayed and turned over into the hand of wicked and sinful men who think they're right. And they're going to kill me. And it happened. But on the third day, I'm going to raise again. And it happened. You know, stay in Jerusalem because you're going to receive the power from on high, and you're going to go and you're going to be witnesses all over the earth. And it happened. You see? There is a truly dynamic superhero, superpower level of reality in hearing the word of the Lord, knowing the word of the Lord, and walking in the word of the Lord. You are the superhero if you can do that. If you can surrender and yield yourself to that and get rid of performance and religion, and then when it comes and tries to reassert some sort of authority over you, you can be like, I recognize you, but I'm not going to listen to you. You are the superpower. You're the hero. You're the Avenger. And I believe that we're just getting ready to just see the Lord move in a way that's going to bring about a restoration that's beyond politics. I believe it's a restoration that's going to speak to the human heart. There is an Ezekiel 47 river that I believe is coming. But even in that Ezekiel 47 river, there were the salted marsh places, marshlands, is that what it's called? And they just weren't affected by the river. You know, you're going to have that. That's just going to be the reality of life, is you're going to always have those people who just are unreceptive to the truth, and just they're like antennas for demonic activity and their soul and their appetites, and that's fine. But I believe what's coming is an Ezekiel 47. Go and read it. Read Ezekiel 47. If you can manage to read it in the Amplified, that's great, because it says some really cool things there. But whatever version you read it in, read Ezekiel 47 and you'll see that river comes from the throne of God, and it brings restoration, and it ends in the Dead Sea and brings the Dead Sea to life. And people will be fishing on the banks of the Dead Sea because now there's fish there. And it's like, what? How is that possible? We're about to see how is that possible moments happening so much they can't even be recorded or testified of, because there's just going to be so many of them. And so for those of you who don't believe, start believing. For those of you who have struggled to believe, I pray you'd be encouraged in your believing. And for those of you who have stood fast and have held fast, and I am just not going to give up on the Lord, be greatly encouraged, because I believe God is about to move in such a dynamic way. I believe it's already happening. I believe there's already a move in place. It's like the waters have already parted, and the nation of Israel is already crossing through this great miracle. Now, you might be 3/4 of the way behind the line, because remember, it took them 10 hours to cross. You might be at hour 7 before you actually even see the miracle. Like, whoa, I get to actually see it. Here it is. Oh my gosh. This is it. Wow, look at the waters. That's great. Wow. How did this happen? Whoa. You know what I'm saying? You may not be one of those first time people that cross first. You might be last. It don't matter as long as you cross. Amen? It's like, Lord, as long as I'm crossing, I'm good to go. So just be looking for that. Looking for the Lord. Be looking for the Lord to be moving in your life in a strange, unusual way, or maybe just a different way, or just a way that says, wow, we're moving from where we were in this wilderness into a promised land. Because God is a fulfiller of his promises, and he finishes what he starts. None are worthy. It's his blood and his forgiveness and him adopting us into his family. That's what makes us worthy. And then, now that we're in the family, he's going to treat us like children, and he's going to do some good for us. He's going to discipline us. Sure, that's what the wilderness has been about. But once you have been trained and by the discipline of the Lord, he can now put you in the next place that he wants for you. And I believe there is joy coming. I believe this is not sensationalism. I believe there is comfort coming. I believe there is I just see right now in the spirit this celebratory, great jubilation, that's coming. That's just going to be it's almost like the streets are going to be full of happiness and joy and excitement. And there's even in this vision that I'm getting, that I'm seeing, there are angry people there that are walking on the sidewalks just mad because you're happy. I mean, there's a whole video to be made about that, but they're going to be mad because you're happy. It's like there's going to be a lot of happiness, a lot of appreciation, a lot of thanksgiving, a lot of blessing from the Lord, a lot of thanksgiving going up to the Lord. There's going to be a lot of great things happening, all because God's doing it for his name's sake, to reveal his name to the nations. And so I hope that blessed you guys. I just see Singapore. I see UK, London, Belgium, Greece, Budapest. Where's Budapest? I forget. I literally just heard this. Hungary. That's what it is. I'm just seeing all these places. Canada, Wisconsin. I'm just sharing it as I'm seeing it. Like these places at Detroit. Wow, how about that one? I got a word for Detroit not too long ago. I just see all these places. I just see these places. And I'm just asking the Lord even now. I'm just like, Lord, what are you saying about these places? These are the places I feel like the Lord's going to be pouring out on. And he's like, this is just a handful. I'm just showing you a handful. I'm just showing you. I'm going to be all over the place, Devin. I'm going to be traveling all over. I'm going on tour. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? The Lord's like, I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour. I'm coming to a town near you, okay? I'm literally going to name the video this now. Coming to a town near you. The Lord is on the move. The one who fulfills promises. The one who takes little shepherd boys and makes them king. The one who takes an old man and an old woman and turns them into a mother and a father of nation. You know what I'm saying? So I just see that. I see that coming. Ireland. I see Ireland. I see Scotland. I see Iceland. Is that real? Someone tell me if that's real or not. Is there even a population in Iceland? I'm like, what is going on there? I just see it. Russia. I feel like the Lord's saying Russia to me right now in this moment. I hear the word Russia. I see it on the map. Russia. I even see individuals. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about nations. But now I'm seeing individuals. I'm not going to name these individuals, but what I get from that is the Lord saying, I'm talking about nations, but I'm also talking about individuals. Kind of like when the Lord was like, some things I'm sharing with you and I'm promising you, it has to do with something that I want to use you to do that's going to go way beyond you. Way beyond you. But then there's this moment that you're going to have on Sunday that's going to have nothing to do with anybody but you, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you that. It's going to be about you, and just here you go. You know, so it's almost like the Lord's saying, from the biggest thing to the smallest thing, from Russia to this one person over here, I'm going to be going on tour. I'm going to be visiting people. I'm going to be visiting nations, but I'm also going to be visiting you. God's bringing restoration, man. There is a restoration spirit of the Lord that has been ushered in the same way that the spirit of death was sent to take the firstborn in Egypt. There's a spirit of restoration that's going about, and it's going to begin restoring hearts back to the Lord. Hearts back to the Lord. That's what it's about. That's the whole point. And however he's going to have to do that. Okay? And also, I believe the Lord's saying with this restoration is going to come a platform and a new foundation upon which to build a tree of life's going to come out of it. A thing that the Lord's going to build in you is going to come out of this foundation of restoration. So there's going to be this restoration first, and then out of that restoration is going to come production. And things are going to be produced from the restoration that God works in your life, and you're just going to start seeing amazing things. God's going to you are going to awaken. I feel the Lord saying that. You are going to awaken to it's almost like you're going to come alive again. You're going to come alive again. You're going to awaken to the felt presence of God. You're going to awaken to joy and happiness again. You're going to awaken to a life that you can enjoy again. Man, you are going to awaken to a life that you can enjoy again. A life that you can have hope and faith again. And you will say to yourself, you know what? I think I can stretch myself. I think I can believe for that. I think I'm okay now. God has healed my heart. He's done something in me. I think I can. You know, I believe that I can trust you again, Lord. I believe that I can praise you again, Lord. I believe I can worship you again, Lord. I believe that I can hope in your word again, Lord. I believe that I can learn to be led by your Spirit again, Lord. I believe because you have picked me up and you have set me in a high place and you have set my feet in a firm and stable place. I believe I can walk again. I believe I can eat of your word again. I believe I can drink of your Spirit again. I believe I can believe again. And you're going to begin to just start enjoying life again. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And so I pray that bless you guys. And until next video, bye-bye.